Ladies, we are here tonight on the show. All right, we are here tonight on the show. On the show. How's everybody doing, man? How's everybody? All right, let's see here. Let's make sure everything's. Let's make sure everything's. Let's see here. Are we on? All right, we're on. We're on. All right, let's get this thing going tonight. Let's talk about this game. So Toronto is going to the finals for the first time ever. Oh my lord! And again, Milwaukee. It looked like they were gonna win the first, three quarters. I want to say, but I just had that feeling. At one point, they had like 15, 17 points. But I just had the damn feeling that Toronto was gonna come back and win this shit. I felt like Kawhi Leonard paced himself tonight. And when he really had to in those last, few minutes of the game, he really turned it on. He finished tonight with 27 points, 17 rebounds. The guy was fantastic. That's like a fucking power forward stat or something like that. He's a small forward, and he finished with that stat. He was fantastic down the stretch. You know, these guys. Van Fleet has completely woken up. Van Fleet had he finished with 14 points off the bench. Lowry, he's been pretty good in this series, man. He proved a lot of people wrong in this series. We all thought he was going to suck. He had 17 points tonight. Siakam, who's been really the sidekick to Leonard in a lot of these playoffs, 18 points tonight. He was fantastic. But yeah, man, Leonard, man, fantastic down the stretch. Toronto, the whole time they were pacing themselves down 15, 17. And then at the end, man, Kawhi Leonard took over. Antetokounmpo again. I thought tonight he did a better job. He finished with 21 points, 11 rebounds. But again, when you force him to take a jump shot, or even if you put him in the free throw line, he struggles, man. He struggles. He really this summer has got to look himself in the mirror. Ask yourself, am I about shit or am I full of shit? He's really got to work on a jump shot. Because you see it, he'll drive in, and right around the around the paint, in the 3-point line, the top of the key, they kind of leave it wide open. They're like kind of forcing him to take that 15-footer. Instead, he wants to drive it in, and that's when you got about 2 to 3 guys waiting for him. That wall I've been talking about. They build so he doesn't attack the rim. So the only way you can stop that, or the only way, you gotta fucking develop a mid-range scheme and then a fucking 3-point game. You gotta be able to knock down the 15-footer from the top of the key, and then you gotta be able to be more consistent with your fucking 3-pointers. He's limited, and that's what showed in this series. This series was about Antetokounmpo versus Leonard. What happened? Leonard's fully developed. Antetokounmpo is not. He doesn't have a jump shot, so he's got limitations. And that's what Toronto did. They exposed the limitation. They're like, okay, what is he good at? He's good at driving it in and finishing it, What did he struggle on? Shooting from the outside. So that's what they did. They would stack up about 2 to 3 guys, put up a fucking wall, and force them to take 15 jump footers and 3-pointers, and he just couldn't, he struggled with it. Tonight, took 5 3-pointers, only made 2. What from the field took 18 shots, only made 7. He finished with 21 points, 11 rebounds, but he's really got to work on his game this offseason. He's got to work on a jump shot because his limitations showed in this series big time, especially after Game 3 going forward. Middleton, he's a free agent. To me, he does not deserve the max contract. Tonight, in an elimination game, after having a shitty-ass Game 5, tonight in an elimination game, only 14 points, and that's supposed to be your second best player on the team? That's unacceptable. Only 14 points. Tammy Middleton is not a max player. He doesn't deserve that money. That's unacceptable. That's supposed to be the second best player on the team, and only 14 points. Took 13 shots, only made 3. Nah, that to me, that's not a max player. It's Chris Middleton in an elimination game, only 14 points. At the only game Game 3 where he had 30 points. Other than that, he was trash in this series. Was Middleton? He was completely trash in this series. Lopez, he 18 points. He did what he could. You could argue in this series, I thought he kind of outplayed Middleton at times, especially tonight. He outplayed Middleton. Malcolm Brogdon, 10 points. He kind of got. I thought I thought he, like I said last time, I thought he was better coming off the bench. I think these last 2 games, they put him in the starting lineup. I don't know. I feel like, I don't know. His production has not been the same, tonight, kind of struggle. At times he wasn't even involved in the game that much. Only 10 points tonight. Bledsoe, he struggled the whole series. That's another guy that struggled the whole series. Eric Bledsoe, only 8 points tonight. And then, like I said, another problem with Malcolm Brogdon playing a starting role is that you made your bench a lot weaker. He and George Hill were your energy off that second unit. And by you putting Malcolm Brogdon in that starting lineup, it really hurt that bench. It really did. Tonight, literally, only 23 points off the bench, only by 2 players. Area Sobia with 13, George Hill with 10. Nobody else scored off the bench. Only those 2 combined for 23 points. George Hill and Area Sobia. Everybody else didn't even score. Covington played for 10 minutes and he didn't do shit. Nobody else didn't even play. It's funny because the series started with Milwaukee having the best bench and that ended up with Toronto having the best bench. Seriously. But yeah, I mean, Toronto, I like Malcolm Brogdon. Antetokounmpo's got to work on his game, but I love Antetokounmpo. But yeah, I still got some questions on this team, Middleton, he's not a max guy. Eric Bledsoe, he ain't that good. I'm looking at this team, and I'm like, the only guys I'm really committing to is Antetokounmpo and Malcolm Brogdon. Malcolm Brogdon, I'm not sure if he was 100% or not in this series, but whatever. I still like him. But yeah, there's some guys on this team I have question marks about, especially Eric Bledsoe and Chris Middleton. But in Antetokounmpo, you got to work on your game this summer. You got to develop a jump shot, son. And as far as Toronto goes in the finals, they're gonna have to play small. Like I said, the move you gotta make is Danny Green sucks ass. Danny Green sucks ass. You're going to need all the scores you can get in that series versus the Warriors. Are you going to have Danny Green in there? He's trash. I would start Norman Powell. I know I said in the last video, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But it's a new, fresh series. You're going against one of the greatest teams of all time. If I'm Nick Nurse, I'm seriously, now that it's a new series, you're going to have a few days, have them practice, the starting 5, have them practice with the starting 5. I would have Norman Powell be my shooting guard. I really would. Danny Green has been trash for most of these playoffs. I would have Norman Powell be my shooting guard. And now, you can still have Serge Ibaka and Van Fleet come off that bench. That's, Van Fleet, 14 points tonight. Serge Ibaka, 9. Maybe you'll set a fire under Danny Green to have to come off the bench. I don't know. But you need to make a change at shooting guard if you're Nick Nurse for the next series, I think. You can't afford to have Danny Green out there fucking throwing breaks. You need to have the most offenses you can out of that series. And to me, the best player Toronto has available to be their starting shooting guard is Norman Powell, not Danny Green. And then another guy I got to look at closely is Marc Gasol. You might have to get small in this series. Warriors love to get small, so Marc Gasol, he's not, only tonight 6 points. He had a key 3-pointer towards the end. But that's another guy. Other than game 3 and 4, the guy sucked in this series as well. That's also another thing where I might consider putting somebody else in there. Maybe going small. Maybe having Norman Powell, Kyle Lowry, and Fred VanVleet at the floor at once, maybe towards the end of the game. Not start them, but towards the end of the game, having all 3 of them out there, Norman Powell, Kyle Lowry, and VanVleet, because you want to get small. You have to get small. Warriors love to get small, especially now with DeMarcus Cousins and Kevin Durant out. They love to get small. So I think that's going to be a combination you're going to see a lot from Toronto in this next coming series. Pascal Siakam, Kawhi Leonard, Kyle Lowry, VanVleet, and Norman Powell. Expect to see, especially towards the end of the game, those 5. Because, Danny Green and Marc Gasol are not giving you anything for the most part. Take them out. Danny Green has been trash. Doesn't even deserve to play in the finals, if you ask me, the way he's been in the playoffs. But anyways, shout out to Kawhi Leonard. He was by far the MVP. He's been by far the MVP of these playoffs. Shout out to him. For the first time ever takes Toronto to the finals. He finished with 27-17. He was fantastic tonight. Shout out to him. We'll see. I'll have a finals preview. I'll have a finals preview in the next few days. Hopefully we get 7 games out of this series. We'll see what happens. But until next time, I'm out like a light. I'm out like a light. All right, have a good night, everybody. See y'all.